your school coordinator as well as your science teacher. Welcome you for the class for today. The topic for today, let us see. What can you see, dear children? This is a watch and this is a spoon. Which material is this watch made up of? It's a plastic watch. And this spoon, it's a steel spoon. So plastics are categorized as non-metals and spoon, which is a steel, is categorized as metals. Today we are going to study about metals and non-metals in our chapter, wherein we are going to study about their chemical properties, their physical properties and various other things. Anything can be classified much easier when we see it physically and we know about its properties. So now we are going to deal with the physical properties of metals and non-metals. As you can see, dear children, I have a glass in my hand and a spoon. What can you hear? It is making a sound. So this property of a metal creating sound is known as sonorous. So this is the property of metal wherein it creates sound, which is known as sonorous. Same property if we see of a non-metal, we click on it. Is it creating a sound? No, it's merely not audible. So this type of metal, non-metals, when they do not create sound, they are not sonorous. And metals are sonorous. So the first property that we saw is of being sonorous. Now my dear children, what can you see in my hand? It's a wire. Yes. Now, what is this wire made up of? You might say, plastic? No. Just see over here. I've cut down this wire and you can see metal inside it. That is aluminium and copper, which is being seen over here. So, this metal are so fragile that it can be beaten up into wire. Such property of metals wherein they can be beaten up into wires is known as ductility. So, the second property metal has is ductility. Now, with this wire, let us go to one more thing. If you see, inside this metal, but outer covering is a non-metal, that is a plastic. Why is it so? Because metals are bad conductor of electricity and plastics are good conductor of electricity. That means the electricity can pass through metals, but it cannot pass through plastics. So that is the reason, to avoid getting shock or electric currents, the metal wire or the electric wire are coated with plastic or any other non-metal component, and whereas the inner part is either aluminium or copper. So this is about ductility. Now my dear children, you can see this. It's a foil paper. This is the best example of how thin a metal can be pulled up to, or metal can be beaten up to. This property of metal, wherein it can be beaten up in small sheets or in thin sheets, is known as malleability. This property of metal is known as malleability. Whereas if you see non-metals, they are mostly cannot be beaten up so thin. So this property, third property that we saw is malleability. Now my dear children, 1 gram of gold, it can be beaten up to 2 kilometer long string. So just imagine the malleability or how malleable these components are, these metals are. Foil paper is one of the best example to explain what is malleability. So malleability is when you can beat a particular metal into sheets. Now my dear children, what is this? It's a toaster. Now just have a look at this toaster. You'll find the grilling part of the toaster is made up of metal, whereas the non-grilling part of a toaster is made up of plastic or any other non-metal. It's a plastic. metal, when it is heated, it gets heated up quickly and it remains heated for a long period of time. Whereas the non-metal or the plastic do not get heated. That is the reason in our kitchen appliances you will find the part which is to be heated is of metal and the one from which we hold it is non-metal. This property is known as heat. So the base part or the metal part is a good conductor of heat, whereas the plastic or the holding part is bad conductor of heat. So this is how we can explain the last property, that is heat. So metals are good conductor of heat. Whereas non-metals are not a good conductor of heat. Same way, metals are also good conductor of electricity. That we studied. Last property, which would have been is this. Again, I come to the watches. This watch, you can find it's more blunt. It is more pale. It's not shiny. Wherein this watch, if you see, it's quite shiny because this is made up of metal. Similarly, if you see my ring, it's very shiny because it is made up of metal. So this property of metal to shine is called as luster. So metals have got luster, non-metals do not possess luster. So this is about the physical properties that we studied today of metals and non-metals. Let us now go in detail to it. So as dear children, we have studied about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Now let us see in detail let us enlist the physical and chemical properties of a metal and a non-metal. So these are the physical properties that we've studied. We studied that a property of a metal is that it is solid in nature, except for mercury. Mercury is liquid in nature. Means in room temperature you will find mercury, which is a metal, but it is liquid. Physical metals are hard, they are strong, but there are few metals like lithium, potassium and sodium which are soft in nature. So these are exceptions. Metals have got luster, that means they've got a shine on it, but like gold, silver and aluminium, so they've got a shine on it, that is called luster. Then metals can be beaten up into sheets, as we studied about foil paper. So that is malleability. They can also be drawn into thin wires. That property is known as ductility. Metals have high boiling point and low, which they have got high boiling and melting points. So, but there are few metals like gallium and cerium. They have very low melting point. Means you keep it on your palm and it will melt. So these are the two elements, two metals which are very low in melting point. Metals are good conductor of heat. As I told you, when we heat up a particular metal, it heats up quickly and it is heated for a long period of time. Whereas if you see gold and silver, they are very poor conductor. The gold and silver are very good conductor of heat, whereas lead and mercury, they are very poor conductor of heat. That means it do not get heated up quickly. Metals are good conductor of electricity, and the best ones are silver and copper, from which we showed the electrical wires are being made. Metals are sonorous. Sonorous means once you knock on it, you happen to beat on it, you will get various sounds. So it produces sounds when beaten. So these were the physical properties that we studied. Now physical properties of non-metals are just the opposites of metals. That means they are soft in nature, they do not have luster, they cannot be beaten up into sheets, they cannot be molded up into wires, they have very low melting points and they have very low boiling points as well. they are bad conductor of heat. That is why the handle of the sandwich toaster was made up of non-metal, which I showed you. And they are very bad conductor of electricity too. That is the reason the outer coating of the wire is always made up of non-metal. But there is one exception, graphite. Graphite is a non-metal, but it is an excellent conductor of electricity. That means electricity could pass through it. Non-metals are sonorous, so they do not create any sound, or they barely create a lesser amount of sound. So they are non-sonorous or not sonorous. So now we go to the next point. Children, if you see this, I want you to observe this image of a water bottle. What do you see? If you see, these are two copper water bottles, and both are with different colors. The one on the left hand side is a new water bottle. It is shiny, it is lustrous, whereas one on the left hand side, it is black. It is turned black. With time, the color has been coated with black. Why has it become black? Why is it not having the same luster which it had earlier? So this is because this water bottle with time has got oxygen accumulated on its coating. So such type of reaction is known as oxidization reaction. So now we go to the chemical properties of metal. So what happens to a metal when it gets reacted with any chemical? So this is the introduction, or this is the main point of chemical properties. First is, we are going to see chemicals when they react with oxygen. What do they do? Metals react with oxygen to form metal oxides. Means when any metal gets when any equation or when any metal gets reacted with the oxygen, it forms its oxide. So if you can see in the example, copper, the copper water bottle that we saw, when it got reacted with oxygen, means when oxygen came in contact with the covering of the bottle which was made up of copper, it formed copper oxides, due to which the color changed and it became dark in color. Now you will tell me, how do we clean it? So we need an acid to clean it. So that is the reason there are various products available in the market. A powder product which can be rubbed on this copper material, and then it becomes shiny and lustrous again. So that component from which we clean it is an acid. Similarly, in the similar type of example we can give of aluminium. When aluminium is heated, it combines with oxygen to form aluminium oxide. So it is, if you see an aluminium vessel also, with time it develops some black color pigmentation on its surface. So that is because the oxygen is getting reacted with aluminium, and oxidation takes place. Oxidation reaction takes place, due to which aluminium oxides are created. Again, for cleaning this, we need acids to neutralize the oxygen. Now, why do we need acid, dear children? In the last chapter, we studied about oxidation. Oxidation is when we have to remove the oxygen from it. So, in this way, this process takes place. Some metal oxides are basic oxides because they react with whether of bases. So this is an example. So there are metal oxides which are basic in nature. So they react with water to form base. So if aluminium is reacted, it will not form chlorine. It will not form any acid. It will form base only. So that is the reason for cleaning it, we have to use an acid to neutralize it. So let us see one more example. 4Na, that is 4 quantity of sodium, when it reacts with oxygen, it forms sodium oxide. Similarly, this sodium oxide, when it reacts with water, so what it forms is NaOH. Now you'll tell me this K, that is potassium, when it reacts with oxygen, what will it form? Yes, dear children, it will form potassium oxide, and this potassium oxide, when treated with water, will give you potassium carbonate. So it will give you potassium hydroxide. So this is how, when anything is treated with oxygen, when any particular metal is treated with oxygen, it gets oxidized and a oxide is formed. And this oxide, when it reacts with water molecules, it forms OH molecules. That is, sodium, when it reacted with, as you see in the example, sodium, when it reacted with oxygen, it formed sodium oxide. And when this sodium oxide was reacted with water again, it formed sodium hydroxide. Some metal oxide shows acidity and basic properties. So there it is not always that only basic metals are react to form oxides. It is also acidic components who form reaction, and they form oxides. So they are known as amphoteric oxides. So the oxides like aluminium, when an aluminium reacts, it forms aluminium oxide. And when a zinc reacts, which is an acid, so it reacts to, zinc is a metal, when it reacts, it forms zinc oxide. So this is what amphoteric in nature is. Means it shows, the metal shows acidic or basic properties. So now, my dear children, there is a equation that we need to solve. So one equation is of aluminium oxide when it reacts with hydrochloride. So as we were seeing, aluminium oxide, when that aluminium oxide was reacted with a acid, that is hydrochloric acid, what did we found? And we are going to study when this same aluminium oxide was reacted with a base, that is sodium hydroxide, what did we get? So when aluminium was reacted with hydrochloric acid, we got aluminium chloride and water molecules were liberated. This aluminium chloride is acidic in nature. And when aluminium oxide was reacted with base, we got sodium aluminate. Sodium aluminate is basic in nature. So this is how one particular type of metal, when its reaction with base is different and its reaction with acid is different. This property of some metals is known as amphoteric oxides, or amphoteric, being amphoteric. Now, I told you that metals, after when they react with oxygen, it loses luster and it forms some coating has been formed. As I showed you of copper bottle, it became black. Now tell me, even gold is a metal, then why didn't the gold turn black? Why doesn't the gold turn black with time? Think. Okay, I'll tell you. Gold and silver are exceptional metals who do not react with water or oxygen. That means they remain the same. They do not change. Their properties do not change. They do not react with metals. They do not react with oxygen or water molecules. So that is the reason they are an exceptional case when it comes to oxidization. That means no oxidization can be done on gold. That is the reason it is also known as a noble metal. So that's it for today's chapter, dear students. This is what we have covered in the entire day. So we have studied about the physical properties of metals.
we've studied about physical properties of non-metals, and coming to the chemical properties, we have studied how a metal reacts with oxygen and how does it reacts with water molecules. In the next part we will see how do it reacts with several other distinct characters.